Okay, so 45-degree hip extension, fantastic movement, can use it for many different reasons, but the focus that we're going to use it for initially is we're going to be targeting the hamstrings. Now, when we're targeting the hamstrings and when we're thinking about the setup considerations of this exercise, what we want to do is we want to adjust the seated pad so that there's enough room at the hips for the hips to move through. Now, other considerations need to be, sometimes you'll find that the machines have almost like a calf pad on them. This one hasn't got that, but what we've got to make sure is that the heels are planted firmly against the foot plate so that we're in secure. Now, in terms of this positioning, what we want to focus on all the way throughout is that Jake's going to keep a neutral spine. And as I say, the focus is going to be on the hamstrings. So there's a couple of certain coaching points that I want to take Jake through first of all. And to help him with his back position, I'm first off going to get him to draw his arms back in position. That's going to help him to engage his lats. Obviously, if we were going to load this, we'd simply hold our dumbbells in front of us. But this is a really good starting position when teaching the 45-degree hip extension. Now, from this position, what I'm going to get Jake to focus on is I'm going to get him to focus on driving and thinking about pushing his hips back. So Jake, if you want to go through that, he's thinking about pushing his bum away from that pad. That allows him then to fall forward, keeping a nice neutral spine. He's not going to exceed the range that he has available at his hips. If he does exceed that, what we'll probably see is a rounding of the spine. And when we're focusing in on the hamstrings, what I'm going to get Jake to now do is to think about driving the knees forward to bring himself back through and through to the top. Making sure that at the top, you're not hyperextending the lower back. Now, if we want to make this more of a glute dominant movement, there's just going to be a couple of changes that I might wish to make. I might ask Jake to turn his feet out a little bit more. That just externally rotates these legs. It's going to help him to contract the glutes. And when he comes through, we're going to make sure that he's keeping these legs just a little bit straighter, but the intent is just going to differ ever so slightly on the way back up. It's just going to be a thought process behind thinking about squeezing the glutes rather than driving the knees forward this time. So again, squeeze the glutes there for us, Jake. Back to the top again, avoiding any form of hyperextension.